tough game. We knew it was going to be a tough game coming in. You know, we did a lot of good things to hang around in the fourth quarter. Getting over the hump was hard. But really, I just want to express such a high level of pride for our guys. You know, the stats don't matter because this game really didn't happen. I mean, the result happened, and you know they won the cup. So congratulations to them. You know, Darwin did a great job with their team. But our guys had an amazing run over whatever this was, 5 or 6 weeks. You know, starting with Cleveland and then right on through. And so it brought a lot of attention to Pacer Nation. Brought a lot of attention to an exciting group of young players. Obviously, you know, Tyrese Halliburton is now a name that everyone knows, and he's going to be in the conversation for a lot of things. You know, from All-Star to All-NBA to MVP. You know, based on not just this tournament, but what he's been doing in every single game this year. So, the other really important thing was that, you know, our guys got a real taste of what the elevated stage is all about. It's so important to have this experience, to feel the intensity, to feel the glare and the glow, and to find out what it means to, you know, be totally together in an effort to conquer it. You know, so we conquered a lot of challenges along the way. This one tonight was a little too steep. You know, fouls were a problem again, but I'm disappointed with the result, but not the effort. The effort was great throughout, and so just very, very proud.
Their size, both via the points in the paint they had and via how much length they were able to put on Tyrese throughout the game. How do you feel like that changed what you guys could do, and how do you feel like you could have adjusted to that better throughout the game?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to look at this game because really it didn't even happen, you know. And so I'm not going to get caught up in the stats. You know, as Bobby Knight used to say, I don't need to watch that shit more than once. This guy didn't watch a whole lot of films. Is what his stories I heard about him. I will remember the togetherness, the pride that they took in what they were accomplishing along the way, and the excitement and you know the feeling that you get, you know, this morning and this afternoon leading up to this game is something that every athlete, every coach should feel. There's a change. There's a physiological change, and you know, when you get into the playoffs and then, you know, you advance in the playoffs and you get to the finals, it goes to a whole nother level, and feeling what that feeling's about and how to make it your friend is something that you don't learn unless you go through this. So it's an amazing experience, and you know, we're thankful, we're disappointed, but proud.
Second row on the right, Dustin, go ahead.
I guess to keep going on that, I guess most of the time you get an event like this, your season's over after that. You move on. Now you have to go play Monday, and it's back to a 4-game road trip. I mean, how do you come off of something like this? How do you make sure that you still take all of the good lessons that you get from that, all the positive vibes, and be able to turn it around as quickly as you have to turn it around in what's going to be a totally different environment?
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about the schedule this week after the game. It was mostly just, you know, I congratulated our group. Kevin Pritchard congratulated them, let them know how proud Pacer Nation is. You know, we had 16,500 people at a watch party at Gainbridge Fieldhouse today. I mean, this is a glorious time. But as you say, we have to move on from it. So, you know, we're going to need our young guys to be ready. The emotions of this thing, you know, are real. And, you know, we go to Detroit in a team that's, you know, been on horrific stretch of lost games, and we're going to more than have our hands full. I realize that. But, it's interesting. I could expound on the schedule makers and and some of the teams that aren't playing on Monday, and you look at that and you say, well, there was an expectation that they were going to be here and not elsewhere. But to this point in the season, this has been the favorable stretch. Now, we earned our way to 3 more extremely difficult games. We won the Boston game. We won the Milwaukee game. This game doesn't go on our record. But, yeah, we've got to turn the page quickly. At the same time, we've got to remember how this felt and things that we got to do a little better next time.
Right side, first row, Willie.
Willie Ramirez, Associated Press. You've been singing Tyrese's praises. Adam Silver spoke highly of him earlier. But in these last 4 days, Rick, how have you seen him grow and mature just within, taking over as far as the leader? Well, he is the leader, but, being here and then the semis and then yesterday and then today, has he grown? Is there anything that stood out to you?
I mean, the one thing that stands out to me is that he was completely unfazed by the limelight, and it brought his game to a higher level. Now, they committed 2 to him for the majority of the game, and so he had to get off the ball. So his stats aren't as gaudy as they've been in other games. But, he's unfazed. And, like Reggie Miller, a guy that is very similar to him in body type, stature, personality, and just overall character. He wants the responsibility for winning and losing, and he wants it unconditionally, and that's special. And he works very hard at his craft. He works hard on his body, and so the future is amazingly bright for him. And I don't know. I run out of cliches. What, the sky's the limit? Come up with another one. Make one up and write it and say I said it. It doesn't matter. It's all the same stuff over and over again.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Going to wrap up Tyrese here.
Can still see kind of the emotions poured out in what is just a regular season type game that's a little bit elevated. Can you kind of describe what you and your teammates are feeling after this tough loss?
Yeah, I mean, we're sick. I mean, frustrated. We just got outplayed tonight from start of the game to end of the game. Just didn't do the job on the loose balls, didn't rebound, didn't get enough stops when needed.
They just outplayed us. It's frustrating, and it's funny because it's like everybody says this has like the NCAA tournament feel. But after a game like that and you're sitting in the locker room, you're like, damn, motherfuckers ain't graduating. You know what I mean? We play on Monday. So, it's definitely frustrating. And you got to, take that one on the chin. And we got a flight tomorrow, and we play Detroit on Monday. So I know it has that NCAA tournament feel, championship feel. But, we play in a couple of days. So it's all part of the season. I mean, that's a good question. I just think if you let that, we've done some great things to get here, competed against some really good teams and battled, and you can't let that happen for no reason. You know what I mean? So if you allow this loss to roll over, and we got a 4-game road trip coming up here, you got to take care of business and handle it the right way and, celebrate the successes of it, but at the end of the day, this is just like the regular season. It's game 22, 23. Gotta move on.
Front row on the right, Willie. Go ahead.
Tyrese, Willie Ramirez, Associated Press. Couple for you. I was watching the monitor after the game. You were making your way through the pack of winning Lakers until you found LeBron. What is it? Was there? Can you share with us anything you may have said to you? I know you idolized him growing up. It was just that moment in finding him, seeking him out, congratulating him.
Yeah, I think just congratulating the team. They did a great job. Everybody competed, and I think at the end of the day, it's just one one great talking. I'm just talking to a great. You know what I mean? And congratulating him on the win, and moving on. I think that he's shown me love constantly since I've came in the NBA, and obviously I have, for the majority of my life. So, it was great to compete against him and that team, and they're a good team, and earn that win.
One more for you. Obviously, you're coming off an all-star season last year, and you're putting up some great numbers. People are putting you in the MVP conversation. But just this week, being here, and you mentioned the NC2A tournament feel, right? What is there anything that you felt you've grown in just in these 4 days? Anything you sort of learned about yourself and coming together for this inaugural tournament, leading up to the championship?
I think these games. Sorry. I think they've said like these games have had a playoff type feel, and so playing against Boston, playing against Milwaukee, playing against the Lakers, just seeing how different coverages are, seeing how teams are going to guard me. I think tonight was interesting. There was a lot of putting two on the ball and making me make reads out of it. I had a couple early turnovers, bad ones, but then after that, I don't know what we shot from three. I don't have it in front of me, but I've 10 for 41 or something like that. We missed a lot of good looks, and that happens. It's a make or miss league, and I think for me, it's just understanding how teams are going to guard me moving forward. And every team doesn't have Anthony Davis and a bunch of 6'8", 6'9" wings, so that there's that as well. But just understanding how different looks are going to come, and this doesn't have a regular season feel at all. Like I'm used to playing LeBron. Whatever he plays is 30, 35 minutes. It felt like him and AD never came off the floor. You know what I mean? It was a playoff type feel. So just getting accustomed to that, I think, was really good for me, and makes me want to play in more games that have some meaning to them. So to handle the rest of this season the right way, so I can get to the playoffs and feel that.
Third row on the left. Go ahead, Gary.
Tyrese, Gary Washington, Boston Globe. You guys have won 3 straight before this. This doesn't really count. But if not for that in-season tournament, you guys are a nice little winning streak. People aren't looking at you. With this tournament, do you think the rest of the East and the rest of the league views you differently for the last 60 games? Will you not be overlooked by opponents? Is Indiana Pacer basketball suddenly elevated because of this run?
That's a good question. I don't think that really happens anymore. I think last year we snuck up on teams. Teams didn't really know what to expect, but I think now when you play the Pacers, you know what to expect. You know we're going to run. Better have your track shoes ready. Be ready to run with us, and we're going to score, and the game's going to be up and down. So I think teams know what to expect at this point. I don't think people expect. Obviously, people didn't expect us to get to here in the championship game, but I think teams are prepared for us, and we've beaten Boston, beaten Milwaukee. Those are 2 of the top teams in the East. We play Milwaukee here in a couple of days. They're going to be ready for us. So I think teams know what to expect when we come in the gym, and I don't think anybody's taking us lightly.
Back to the right side,
Hi.
Steve, third row.
Steve Ashburn with NBA.com. The network